of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome feels so right. With diet-free life that helps futures lose mind.
Woo, 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 woo. What's up, everybody? This is Diet Free Life with Robert Ferguson, and I am thankful that you are here. Whether you're catching me live or the replay, I do want to encourage you to like. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, say hi, Robert. All of that helps us reach more people. And we actually are making progress right now. So, man, yes, I'm very excited about that. Now, today, in this video, I'm going to share with you some very good information about how we can live to be 120 years old. Now, most of the posts, when I share information with you like this, I like to have an article that supports it. So if you go into the description, you will see that there is an article that you can read on your tablet, on your phone, on your iPad. And there's even there where you can print it, have a cup of coffee in the morning, and take your time and read through it. Now, in this article, I share with you something that most people aren't talking about, but you can't deny it. It's a truth. Okay, so I want to do that. Also, if you have any questions, there's a Linktree link. If you click on that, it'll take you to my site. You can learn about how to become a coach, how to become a client. You can join our newsletter. You can contact me. If you got questions, just email it my way and I will get back to you. I promise. So that is there. So we can stay in touch and I can help you out. And when you read the article, you can get started on fixing something that we all would benefit from fixing. Okay. So I have some cool stuff I'm going to share with you today, but I want to open up. And I have the article. I always like to print the article out. So I'm looking at exactly what I make available to you. And in the introduction of the article, and I'm just going to read a couple highlights here. I talk about how many scientists and historians and even ancient texts confirm that we can live to be 120 years old. So let's start with the Bible in Genesis 6:3. It states, "My spirit shall not strive with man forever. Yet his days shall be 120 years." So even the Bible says we can live to be 120. Then when you look at the Chinese medicine or philosophy, they also look at that upper limit. And there's a whole bunch of data in the Chinese world where they believe you can live to be 120 years old. And then you have modern scientists, all over the world, a lot of them here in the United States of America, that confirm that under optimal conditions, and I want us to remember that word, optimal or optimize. Okay, that means maximizing, right? So optimal conditions, human cells can support life for 110 to 120 years. Now, the reason why I wrote this article and why I wanted to do this live is because I wanted to speak about something that I talk about often, and that's cellular health. And what you're going to learn when you read the article is what most people aren't sharing with you. And that's not a dig on people. I'm just sharing with you some hardcore facts. And in the article, there's a table I'm going to show you. And we're going to have a fun conversation with that. However, before I go there, I want to play a very short video of someone who I look up to. Her name is Dr. Samopoulos. She is one of, if not the number one endocrinologist in the world. She's 92 years of age. She's published peer-reviewed papers. I mean, And this is another part. I want to pause here for a second because when you have papers, and I don't know if everyone even knows what that means, but when you have peer-reviewed published papers for the work that you've done, like with Dr. Simopoulos, she's the most cited, meaning she's referenced more than any endocrinologist alive. So she's like an authority. And as an authority, it's like she has proven it and she has lived it. So if you go against what I'm saying, you're going against what she's saying because she's a major source. So if you wanted to, poke holes in what I'm saying, then the way you do that is that you got to poke holes in what she's proven. And a lot of the science is settled when it comes to cellular health. So I want you to hear what she has to say. And then we're going to come back to this. And then I'm going to share with you some other really cool things that support everything that I'm sharing. Okay. So this is Dr. Simopoulos, Artemis Simopoulos.
Very important is the composition of the fat, the essential fatty acids, omega-6 and omega-3. And it's really frightening to think that after all the research funded with taxpayers' money, today, the latest dietary guidelines for Americans do not mention the importance of the ratio of omega-6, omega-3, or the concept of a balance. It's not a matter that you have low amounts of omega-3s. It's the fact that a high amount of omega-6 and a low amount of omega-3, as it is in Western diets today, they influence the function of every cell membrane in the body. And the cell membranes consist of both omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. And it is important that they are balanced.
Okay. She said it all. She said that your cell membrane, your omega-6, omega-3, I go into detail, explain what those two are. I talk about the ratio, which she was just talking about. And she said they must be in balance. When they're not in balance, you cannot optimize cellular health. You can't. See, this is the part where I would love to get influencers and everybody on the stage, right? Like, for instance, I was watching someone get interviewed by this amazing show hosted by some amazing ladies. And she and I are probably in alignment on many things. And that's cool to have a show if I was on with her, and it could be other people. But it'd be great when we can have a conversation about the things that we don't agree on. Those are the kind of shows I like. And you would let her talk, then I would talk. We could bring up the data. As you can see in this article that I wrote, there's 24 references there. I like to make sure I've substantiated everything. And for anybody who wants to live to be 120 years old and they want to have really good health along the way, what we're talking about right now, you cannot debate this. You can't argue this. Like you can't. So you're either going to be humble and go, wow, I didn't know that. Let me look into it more. Or, wow, I didn't know that. And I'm saying, wow, you didn't know it, because if you knew it, trust me, you would be getting tested, which I can make that available to you. You would know everything that I'm talking about already. The large majority of people do not know what I'm sharing. And there's not one human being on the planet that can contest what I'm sharing right now. No one can. That's what's crazy about what I'm sharing. And then it's been overlooked and not talked about because the people out there don't realize there's a test. And it's an accurate test, scientifically validated test. You can do it in the privacy of your home, and we will know what your cell membrane fluidity is like. Because there's one thing to talk about things, it's another thing to do the test. Okay. Now, there's two things to know as we move forward, because I'm going to show you something really cool. There is a lifespan and there's a health span. So lifespan, when we talk about life expectancy, right? When you look around the world, what group of people live the longest? Okay. Not that they're healthy, they could be in poor health, but they live really long. Well, Hong Kong is winning. They're beating everybody. Now, if you've heard of blue zones, because that came up earlier, and they talk about blue zones are the healthiest people. Why isn't Hong Kong in the blue zone? See, there's problems with the blue zone. And we're not going to go into that because I'm doing a whole deep dive on the blue zones. And I've been sharing this with people for a few years now, that there's some lessons and some positive we can get from the blue zones, but the blue zones they're not even accurate if we're looking at longevity. There was a whole nother agenda that was at play for the blue zones. Now, Hong Kong's number one. They lived the longest. Right behind them is you got Japan, you got South Korea. You know, we got Greece in there a little bit. Like, you know, US is way down. We're not doing good. So when we say lifespan, we're talking about how long you live. When we say health span, is how long you live without disease. I mean, in America, the United States of America and Canada, our health span is like 66 years old. 10 years less than the leaders around the world. So when I was getting ready to write this article, I said, you know what? What do they have in common? Like, what is the common thread for people who live way longer and have way better quality of life? And not long ago, I wrote an article about Japan. And in Japan, we know that in their population, less than 4% of their population is considered obese. Whereas in the United States of America, over 40% of our population is obese. This is not looking good. And then when you look at ethnic groups like African Americans, Hispanics, they're like even higher. So think about this. We're talking about lifespan and health span. We're talking about how long you can be on this earth. And we're talking about the quality of your health on this earth. Oh, man, I'm going to show you. You know what? Let me show you right now. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, let me change this up. So here's the chart, you know, that I put together. And let me, you know what? That's not working. Let's go back here. And let me make it big. I'm going to hide myself. Okay. Now, you can see to the far right, we talk about omega-3 index. Now, notice the people who live the longest and who have the best health are in the range of what we call a green, a positive. That's where you want to be, the safe zone. 8 to 12% is where you want to be. So Hong Kong is there. Japan is there. South Korea is there. Iceland is there. Greece, they're there. Okinawa, which is the same as, you know, Japan, they're there. And look at America, United States of America and Canada. I can easily say we're under 5%, but I would say 99% of the people I've tested are under 4%. We are not getting enough omega-3. And as Dr. Simopoulos just said so clearly, we're out of balance. So the goal is, how do we get back in balance? Okay. There's a woman named Dr. Rhonda Patrick. And Rhonda Patrick, I like her. I really do. She's here in the United States. She knows a lot about a lot of things as it pertains to health. She's a biomedical scientist, a health educator, a science communicator, and she's best known as the founder and host of Found My Fitness, a popular platform, including a podcast and YouTube channel where it's dedicated to nutrition, aging, and disease prevention. And she sits on a board where they study and report and do a lot of research as it pertains to omega-3s. Now I'm bringing her up because I want you to hear in her words, and this is a short video, and she's talking to this gentleman, and I'll make the link available if you ever just want to go and watch the whole interview. But here's a snapshot, and then I'm going to come back to what I just put on the screen.
Amazing with the omega-3 index is that people that have the 8% omega-3 index have a 5-year increased life expectancy compared to people that have 4%.
Okay, so let me pause that because I'm going to play that again. If you want to live 5 years longer, increase your omega-3 index. That's what she just said. And we're talking quality. Now, some of you are like, well, my doctor has not even, I'm sorry your doctor didn't bring it up. I have clients who are physicians, and I'm sharing this with them, and they become a customer, and they get on it. And I can't tell you how many, like the amount of conditions I've seen improve just by improving this biomarker. You know, I share with people that, you know, I endorse the #1 supplement that everybody needs. Everybody needs it. And I was sharing with a dear friend of mine earlier today. I said, if I share this, what I'm sharing, and I was sharing with her about this article and the data and what I just shared with you. If I share that with someone who says they're in the business of helping people be healthier and they didn't become my customer or get the test, if they didn't, they're a fraud. You cannot unsee what I'm sharing with you. You cannot. I mean, this is mind-blowing to me. And then you get those people, well, let me think about what? This is your health, your well-being, your longevity. So if there was a blueprint to living 120 years, you know, with a quality health span with lifespan, you would want to have healthy cells. Okay, so I'm gonna let it play through.
The thing that's amazing with the omega-3 index is that people that have the 8% omega-3 index have a 5-year increased life expectancy compared to people that have 4%.
5 years.
5 year.
Think about 5 years of being around your loved ones, doing amazing things, enjoying life. 5 years.
5 years. And there's studies showing that they're like, you're much less likely to get Alzheimer's disease if you have a high omega-3 index. So the quality of life is better as well. And I was telling you this yesterday, and
I mean, okay, think of all the people. Like, I'm not 60. I ain't in my 60s. I got some time. But I'm in my 50s. And I don't want, like, I'm watching my kids now are watching their grandma. Her last day, she's got dementia, Alzheimer's. And you know, that's their grandma. That's their mom's mom. And it breaks my heart because I loved her, right? I was her son-in-law for many years. I really liked her. She's still alive, thank God. But man, what a horrible way to go out. And imagine it could have been, let's just say could have. We don't know if it could have. We're not saying making any claims, but just think about that. We know that when you don't have low levels of omega-3, that you have, when you have a proper amount of omega-3 in your brain, DHA, you reduce the risk of dementia to include Alzheimer's. So think about all the people who are living with dementia and Alzheimer's. There's no going back now. And a big part of their life was lived being low on omega-3 in their brain. I mean, what I'm sharing, this is a game changer. This is everybody benefits from this. I have a fitness friend of mine, an influencer, and her mom's getting up there, right? And I was talking to my barber, and his mom, you know, she's going through some stuff with inflammation. So I gave them some of this balance oil stuff that is like liquid gold to me, because I believe in it whole, I mean, it's not even Tide versus all. I mean, this is not makeup, you guys. This is not my peptide is better than your peptide. This is not who's got the best multivitamin. There is a test that will confirm if you got enough in your body or not, and not serum tests. We're talking on the cellular level, the cell membrane. All right, let me let Dr. Rhonda finish up.
Like talking about, because it blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
The smoke. So they took this cohort of people, and they were smokers in there. There were smokers and there's non-smokers, and they looked at their omega-3 index, and they found that the smokers that had a high omega-3 index of 8%. So these are smokers that are like, I need the fish oil. I got to do. I'm smoking. You know, they had the same life expectancy as the non-smokers with the low omega-3 index.
That is insane. You could be somebody who's running every day but not getting enough fish oil, and then somebody who's, you know, smoking a pack of Marlboros and taking fish oil, and you're going to live the same amount, roughly.
There you go, man. So here's the chart. You know, read my article, share it with people. You know, I have partners in the business where we make the tests available as well as the oil. And if they shared this video with you, ask them to send you the article and read it. I'm very clear in the article, full transparency. And I say, look, this article was written without bias. I'm just stating the facts. And it's so sad because so many people, because of their confirmation bias, will miss what I'm sharing. And this is very important information that can be helpful. I don't think you can't talk about health without addressing this. And, you know, I'll give one more like note as it pertains to like the tests. Can you guys hear me on this? I'm hoping you hear this. Okay. I heard this doctor earlier today talk about an omega product that she has, and that it was from algae, which is great. We have an algae-based, you know, product also. But what I would hope this doctor would know is that there's a test to prove that her product is helping people or is not. Now, I've tested 19 different fish oils and omega-3s. 19. All of them failed. So what happens is, let's say you're taking the product, right? Let's say you're taking a product and you're paying whatever you're paying, and you really believe in your product. And then you find out there's a test. And that test, as Dr. Samopoulos mentioned, will tell you what your ratios are and will tell you what your index is. But you don't know about a test. You just been taking your product. So we do your test. And then the test results come in. And based on the test results, your product is not doing anything for you. How would you feel? Because I'm watching this happen to quite a few people. Third-party testing, total anonymity, nobody notices you, HIPAA compliancy. You would feel like, man, was I scammed? This is where the world is headed. It's called test-based nutrition. You don't have to guess because there's a test. So then they get on the product that I endorse, and why I endorse it, because it helps everybody that I've ever seen get tested, take the product, get tested again, boom, it works. Can't argue it. It's not my opinion. This is the real deal for everybody. And it addresses a problem that the country is suffering from. And I was just in a meeting yesterday, and I'll close up. And I want to show you guys the chart one more time with a whole bunch of Make America Healthy Again people that work for Mr. Kennedy. And I'm putting together my official proposal, which is around nutrition education, because no one addresses it the way we do. Like no one. That's not the ego. That's just a fact. So we have a proven, evidence-based, clinically proven methodology, a method that our coaches teach that works for everybody, right? It's reproducible. The outcomes are the same. Everybody wins. Well, when I look at the problem that we have with omega-6 to 3 ratios and not having enough omega-3 and all of the chronic illnesses that are tied to not having enough, all of the inflammation that people are living with, all they have to do is improve their numbers. So let's bring back up the numbers. Okay, look at that. Let me make it just a little bigger, because far right, United States, the average person's 3, 4, I've seen people 1%, and they're walking around and had no clue. And these people would tell you that, yeah, I want to live, I want a nice, lifespan and an incredible health span. You're not if you're walking around, under 4%. It's not going to happen. You become vulnerable to many health conditions. The data is right there. I mean, it's right there. You can't, come on. It's like, it is right there. And I'm watching people that say they're in the health space and that they are there to help people with nutrition and inflammation. Oh my Lord. This is the number one major problem in the United States in America. And man, and we're fighting to get people to wake up and give it a shot. But the people who do, they're like, man. And once you do, this is not something you do for a moment and then quit. This is something that you do for the rest of your life. So anyway, is there any questions for me? Any questions, everybody? Because, I'm getting set up. I'm getting set up to say goodbye. Like the song, it's so hard to say goodbye, but it's there. So the article is right here. When you read it, the title is How to Live to 120 Years of Age, the Cellular Blueprint for Longevity. 24 references. The chart that I just showed you is right there. It's a short read. You could probably read it in maybe 6-7 minutes over a cup of coffee, tea, water, and just soak it up. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. My email is robert@dietfreelife.com. Again, this is Diet Free Life with yours truly, Robert Ferguson. And do me a favor, if you have not joined our YouTube channel, come on over. Okay, you can find me. Just type in Robert Ferguson, Diet Free Life, YouTube channel, Diet Free Life, Robert Ferguson. And when you subscribe, make sure you click on the bell and click all, so that whenever we go live, you get a notification, as well as when we upload new videos. All right. So until the next one, everybody. God bless.
No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With Diet Free Life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right.